I just wanted to do a short video to discuss the Skywell BE11. Reason being, my neighbour asked the other day, how's it going with the Skywell? And he said they've had a bad write-up. And a couple of people have said about the write-up. So I thought it's worth addressing some of the points that are raised. So I've read probably the most hard-hitting is the autocar review. So some of the various YouTubers have had comments, but the autocar one's quite interesting. So I just want to address a few of the points that they made. The first one, and this I've got to say I'm astonished, is they said the boot was too small. So let's have a look at the boot on the Skywell BE11. So it's actually got, in my opinion, it's got a big boot. So let's see. But autocar said it ain't got a big boot. Ethan, what do you think to the boot?
It's big enough for me.
Big enough for Ethan to lay down. So I think the boot's okay. So we can put that one to bed. The boot, if we have a look, is huge. I can't quite understand. I mean, Ethan was laid down in there, nice and comfortable. There's extra storage under here for smuggling. Comes with a boot mat, but the tonneau cover comes out. It's a big boot. It's easy load. There's no sort of lip. I can't understand small. It doesn't really make much sense. The next point is the front of the car, and one of the comments is about the nose and the grille of the vehicle, which again I find strange. And the reason I find it strange is it's an EV, it's an electric vehicle. So here we've got a BMW. This is an internal combustion engine car, and it's got a grille with slats in, and those slats are to put air. It's an internal combustion engine. An internal combustion engine is an engine that explodes many times a minute, and that is to allow air to go to the radiator that cools the car down. An electric car doesn't need vents because it doesn't have a radiator that cools the engine down. It's not an internal combustion engine. But if you were to compare that to, let's say, a Tesla, the Tesla is exactly the same. It hasn't got vents in the grille. Neither is a Kia electric or any other electric vehicle. So the front end is, it hasn't got a grille because it doesn't need one, because it's an electric vehicle. So that's another one that I'm confused about. And then really moving on to the drive of the vehicle, and I just want to be honest. So when the electric cars first came to the market, they were quirky. A lot of the electric cars still are quirky, and they were fast. So two things that they had in common: they were fast and they were quirky. But the speed affects the range, or the performance affects the range. And anybody who's got an EV, anybody that I know personally who's got an EV is sort of range conscious. So they're looking at the efficiency and the range, and also the value for money that they're getting versus a petrol or a diesel car. What they're not doing, maybe day one, they put their foot down. Wow, this is quick. But every other day after day one, they're working on economy. And the second thing is quirky. So you take a Tesla, you've got, you can play a beach buggy racing game on the screen. You can make the seat from. So they do have the quirky features. The Porsche has a synthesized engine noise. The BMWs. They have a sort of sound to them, dynamic sounds. So they're all quite quirky. And what the Skywell have done is they've not gone for that. They've not gone for speed, and they've not gone for quirkiness. So when the reviewers have said, it's not dynamic, it's not. In my opinion, it's the same. It's in the same field as a Hyundai Tucson. So when you drive a Hyundai Tucson, does it corner fast? No, it doesn't corner fast. Does it accelerate fast? No. Because that's not what it's meant to do. It's a family SUV. It's got space, economy, and reliability. And this is the same: space, economy, reliability. And then really from sort of addressing those. So does this drive well? It does. Does it drive fast? No. Is it as dynamic as they say a BMW? No. But it's a family SUV. When you compare it to other family SUVs, it's a nice drive. It's a good drive. And just to be clear, Skywell compromised the speed to give us more range, which is actually, as an EV driver, that's what we want. The next thing is the interior. So there's a few things being said about the interior which I'd like to address. One of them is build quality, which, yeah, I ain't got any words. I mean, that hopefully you can actually hear, apart from it beeping because I've got the ignition on, you can hear how solid that sort of door is, and heavy and well finished. They talked about, I think, being completely honest, I think that the early press cars, because when we actually test drove a Skywell vehicle before we got the franchise, there was a few things on it that have been sort of corrected on the production vehicles like this one. So I think maybe there was a misstep at the early days where Skywell give cars to the press and the cars weren't quite right, which unfortunately has given us quite some bad reviews. But one of the things they said was that, and this is a crazy one, the accelerator pedal was loose. But I mean, there's there's no movement at all there in that accelerator pedal. It's not loose. I mean, that's an obvious one. And they talk about the build quality, but the build quality is fantastic. And one of the things that Matt Watson does on CarWow is he talks about how scratchy the plastics are, so it's quite interesting. And this is really nice soft plastic. Same on the dash. It's not scratchy. It's nice soft plastic. Down here, it's more scratchy, if you like, but that's the same as pretty much any car apart from like really executive premium cars. They save money on these plastics, but this is a nice, lovely sort of rose gold finish. Really nice quality. The buttons are all well laid out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the interior. It's a really nice place to be. And one of the things when they talk about how dynamic it is, we sat in the showroom right now next to a Range Rover, and what this vehicle's got in common with that Range Rover is big windows and a huge panoramic roof. This is actually the largest opening panoramic roof in its class. So when you sat in this car in its lovely seating position with these lovely orange trim seats and a flat bottom steering wheel, it's a really nice place to be as a passenger or as a driver. And the fact that there's a lot of light in the car, it makes it really appealing. And actually, where we've got a range of vehicles, we can go, should we take that car, we always elect for the Skywell because it's just easy and comfortable compared to a lot of the other cars. It's a nice place to be. So yes, it's not as dynamic as a BMW or a Porsche, but what it is a good SUV with good economy. It does what it's meant to do. And on the interior, it's a lovely finish. And the next thing that's been sort of criticised was the screen. And that's another thing that I'm a little bit confounded by, because this is Apple CarPlay that's on the screen right now. It works well. It's responding as just as you'd expect it. It works exactly how you'd expect it to. When you go back to the car itself, the comment from Autocar said that the icons were too small. If anything, the screen's too big. So they've put a lovely, huge, big display in there. The icons are not too small. The icons are fine. I mean, you can see the icons there, and the screen, it works absolutely fantastic. There's no lag, there's no delay. It's responsive. It does what it's supposed to do. There's no issues there. On the early cars, again, being honest, the early cars, they did have some Chinese writing and Chinese settings in there, which was not quite fully ready for the UK market, and that's a bit of a drag because it's gone into the reviews. The first car we drove before we got the franchise, it had some Chinese writing on, so that has sort of diminished and caused some of the issues with the bad reviews. But as you can see, it's a great screen. And one of the things I really love about the car is on the dashboard right here, it's telling me that I've got 281 miles of actual range. It's not full, as you can see, so it's going to go way over 300 miles when it's full. And WLTP means that that's the actual range you can expect to get. It's not the inflated under the world's best test conditions that you're actually not going to get. It's got an actual real life range on there, which again is a big advantage to a lot of other cars. And just one last thing to show you with the screen is the cameras. Excuse the noise. The cameras, I mean, we've got a lovely surround view. in 2D. We can change the view. It's a lovely screen. I have to turn that off because it's really annoying. But a lovely screen, lovely reverse screen. And then the last thing really, which again, when you're talking about the dynamic side of the vehicle, is that there's actually a great deal of room. I can sit in the back with leg room to spare. Being totally honest, I mean, there is that much room, and I was sat in the front. I'm 6'1". I'm now 6'1", still the same height in the back, and there's that much knee room. I mean, look at the headroom. There's not many cars I sit in the back where there's this huge amount of sort of headroom. This is a really comfortable car, and in the back we've got USB charging. It's a really lovely, well-equipped vehicle. And moving on, just to say that some of the value of this car is in the sort of quality of the fittings and the range, and the fantastic 7-year warranty and the 8-year battery warranty. But what we've also got is it's such a well-spec'd car. It's got things like, as standard, things like 360 cameras. It's got this huge panoramic roof, 19-inch alloy wheels, electrically operated boot, as you saw, that fits in a technician. It's a really well-spec car. It's great value for money. We've actually got we've got two offers. We've got this one, for example, which is pre-registered, which is less than £30,000. It's a good chunk less than £30,000. It's pre-registered, delivery mileage. It's a long range with a 7-year warranty and an 8-year battery warranty. And remembering that with electric cars, they don't need a lot of maintenance, so the running costs are really low. So this is a good one. We've also got on the new vehicles, brand new unregistered vehicles, we've got an offer where a customer can get, it's mind-blowing, £6,000 finance deposit contribution, 7.9 APR, £3,000 Octopus Energy public charging credits, and a free Instavolt home charger. So that's well over £1,000. So you've got a package there worth over £10,000. So a vehicle that costs £37,000 has got a £10,000 package free of charge, as well as the warranty, as well as the after sale support. And the other thing about which I think is really smart, and I've never mentioned before about Skywell, is that because it's a new vehicle coming to the UK, and I think as we speak, I think there's 11 dealers in the UK. What they've done is they've set up a deal with Halfords, so all the Halford auto centres nationally can also service and do warranty work on the Skywell. So what a sensible thing. You've got all that peace of mind anywhere in the country. There's Halford support. So overall, yes, the reviews are not great in some of the outlets, and some of the points that I suppose are valid. You know, yeah, it's not the fastest, not the fastest EV, certainly not. But some of them aren't fair, and some of them are based on pre-production cars. So I think when you put all the facts in there, and it's really important to say, this is not a racing car, this is a family SUV. So you've got space, and you've got economy and efficiency and value for money and specification. You've got all those things, but yeah, it's not the fastest. So if you want a dynamic car that's going to corner fast, and this is not that. But neither is most SUVs. Neither is a Hyundai or a Kia. Most SUVs fall into category where they've got softer suspension, they've got a setup ready for the comfort for the family to drive in. So hopefully that addresses some of those sort of bad reviews. It's a good car. It's a nice place to be. Thank you.